Hello and welcome to my channel. This is my second channel, to be honest with you guys, but the other channel I have is literally just based on drama and exposed videos I've done on stalkers and corrupt cops and all kinds of crazy nonsense. On this channel though, I did want to keep a different vibe. I wanted to talk about my thoughts on government politics, investments. This is not financial advice. I just wanted to show you guys where I'm at and what's profiting in my portfolio and how I was able to stay up when S&P 500 is crashing. First of all, I do want to show you guys my investments and then talk about why I made certain investments and also why they're increasing in value. Okay, so I've actually been investing probably seriously for about a year now. I am up 1.9% right now. You'd think oh, that's not that much. But I mean, when I look at this S&P 500, it's down today from last year, So I was thinking maybe it's not so bad. I feel like I dodged a real bullet with this last crash too, because I was seeing posts in the comment sections about people losing 30%, or being underwater 30% even, or even 50%. One of the most notable crashes that I noticed was the ARK Innovation ETF crashing. It's right now 60%. I do feel bad though, because I think Kathy Woods is very intelligent. However, there was a lot of criticism too though. A lot of people were kind of upset because during the crash at some point she had sold a lot of Tesla, and they thought that was kind of odd because that was her main winner. Like I said, I've noticed I've had higher highs than lower lows. That's why I've never worried about getting rid of Tesla. I'm not gonna lie, I have sold it, but not to time the market, just because of my own personal finance things going on. But when she did it, I guess there was a lot of criticism around it. A lot of people felt the need to get out of the ETF. They felt like there was mismanagement, and maybe I seen another comment that was saying they think that there was just a lot of other little stocks that were bought and they really shouldn't have been a part of the ETF. And so seeing that, a lot of people started thinking, well, why am I gonna pay these people a fee to manage an ETF, buying things that I don't even really want in my portfolio? So a lot of people were dropping the ETF too, thinking with that type of mindset, I'll just buy my own individual stocks and exclude the ones that I don't really believe in. I can't blame them though, because in a way I agree with that. That's what I've been doing. I've been picking individual ones. By the way, that's not me bragging, because I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for about a year now, and I started around the pandemic time when these stocks were going through this weird mania of running through all-time highs. I had my portfolio go up to about 25% in earnings on the plus side. So now you could see I am feeling the crash. But I mean, definitely not other people have been feeling it. Because I was thinking, well, maybe people haven't thought about the things I've thought about. By underwater, I mean they were below zero. It's a net loss. So here are some of the stocks that I've invested in. These are ordered in highest return to lowest return as of right now. First on my list is First Solar Inc. It is under the ticker symbol FSLR. As you can see, it did go up 47.59%. It went up 12% today. Isn't that crazy? 12% in one day. One of the main keys I've been using in my investments recently is targeting solar panel stocks. That one I snatched up on June 17th of this year. Here's another big hitter that's keeping my portfolio afloat. It's Solar Edge Technologies Inc. under ticker symbol SEDG. It's up 45.36%. That one too is up 5.55% today. That one I also bought April 21st of this year. Thirdly, there's Canadian Solar Inc. I did have a price hike of 30.55 in my portfolio. I bought that one on April 24th of this year too. So I guess that's pretty good for, some months. The ticker symbol is also displayed on their icon, CSIQ. And y'all might be wondering, how good is that of a diversified portfolio? Those are all solar panels. But hear me out, one's Canadian and the other is locally used in my area. And then the other two I just threw in there, because I was well, if people are going to be looking for solar panel companies right now, I want to be in at least a few of them. And they did want to get into it. Why? Because there is a war right now messing with gas and energy prices. Well, that's not the only reason why, and that's the fun part about it. There's multiple reasons. Okay, amongst this crisis that we're having to deal with, because Putin started a war. Yes, I said Putin started the war because he did. we have a energy problem, and I thought to myself, well, what's the solution? That's what all these rich folks are doing whenever there's a crisis or a problem that comes up. They want to search for the solution. Investors, we have to think in that type of mindset. We have to look at the news, see what the issues are. And that's the thing about the news. They love giving the worst headlines. They love spilling the most drama, the most tea. We gotta have a problem-solving mindset and think to ourselves, okay, what would combat that type of problem? Well, alternative energies could. So yeah, I started eating some money into the companies. And I'm very glad I did so because it's been carrying my portfolio. And you might ask, like, well, what if the war ends and, other countries are faced to just deal with it and push it aside and then deal with Russia and get the oil back and the oil comes back? What am I going to do? Well, here's the thing. I said there was multiple reasons for buying the solar panel stocks, right? So I was looking into it and I thought to myself, well, Russia, for one, they're wrong for attacking the other country like that. Also, at the rate we're burning fossil fuels, it's not going to last forever, okay? Which means Putin's stronghold on energy supplies isn't going to last forever, basically. Okay, do you understand what that means? If he is ruining relations internationally, he's going to leave Russia stuck with this problem of having enemies around the world, and then they're going to be like, oh wait, our oil, we don't have a stronghold anymore because our oil is going to run out. Do you know what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this? Here's a very good example. If we keep burning fossil fuels at a current rate, it is generally estimated that all our fossil fuels will be depleted by 2060. And that was posted December. This is by Octopus Energy, and you guys can see the title of the article. Just an FYI in case you guys wanted to check it out. Another article predicts we will run out in this century. And then there's this third one that says it'll be 50 years. So, it's not looking too great for the governments who want to act corrupt because they have a lot of oil or whatever the case may be. Because at the end of the day, you can't eat oil. And in the long run, maybe I think in the long run because I'm an investor, but I don't think Putin is really thinking about that right now. And he should, because if he really loves his country, he should think about that. If he really loves his citizens, he should think about that, about how his actions are going to impact their future. Okay, so if they have international beef and they run out of oil, what is their next step? What is their next goals? And if America and Europe doesn't want to share their technology, how are the Russians going to cope? I take these things very seriously, which is why I put my money on it. And you can see my money was growing on it. So I think there are like minds thinking about this. I'm pretty sure someone out there noticed because obviously it's still uplifting even throughout our U.S. economic crash. Okay, so the Russian war isn't the only reason, though, that I wanted to invest. I've been thinking about this even before that. I just really put my money on it, seeing the war. The other reason is the goals that governments have been talking about for a long time now. They have goals to make sustainable cities and a sustainable way to live with nature and not producing so much CO2. A great example of this is probably the Dubai sustainable city. They achieved a real sustainable city. And I say that because they took all the aspects of a sustainable city, not just the environmental aspect, but the social aspect and the economical aspects, and they tied it together to make a functional city that isn't going to run out of money. It doesn't run on taxations and such. They do have some sort of fee, but it's not crazy insane for the citizens, and they have a way of running it so that it is sustainable in more aspects than one. It's like a trio. And I strongly suggest you guys go watch the video of this guy. He went and he basically did an interview. It was amazing. Like, they reconstructed this thing. They had solar panels everywhere. So I thought to myself, if they're going to do this internationally, I have to get my foot in the door for these businesses. Because obviously, if that's the way of the future, and that's the way the futurists see it, and the governments see it, and all these big businessmen that want to reshape the world, then who am I to argue? I'm on board too. It wasn't just that, though. It was the infrastructures of the buildings. Things like insulation, it saves energy. I'm pretty sure they did that. And I'm pretty sure they did a lot of other things that could help maintain a sustainable infrastructure. Also, their gutter system they mentioned in the video. It was amazing because they had like some type of biofilters to clean out the water. Then they had the water running into these plants where they would basically grow trees that produce fruits that the city could use. If you want to watch it for yourself, it's called Sustainable City, and it was by the Fully Charged Show. It has like 2 million views. Anyways, I feel like I'm rambling too much, so I'm gonna just move on to the next investment. Okay, Tesla. It is most of my portfolio, and it is underwater right now. I'm not really worried about it being underwater though, because I understand that it is volatile, especially in times like this where the stock market is crashing. That is not a reason to panic though. Like, I've had it crash about like 20 something percent, but at the same time I've had it go up super high, and it is just like that. Okay, it's just volatile. If you guys are ever going to invest in Tesla, do not freak out. It usually goes up in the long term. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how it's changed since the beginning of all this shenanigans, which I really think is fair. That's just my unprofessional opinion though, okay? And I say that because the highs I've had have been higher than the lows I've had, okay? I've never seen lows as vicious as the highs with Tesla, okay? Tesla does do solar panels too, but that's not why I invested in them. They do a lot of tech stuff that I actually believe in. Like, I like their Tesla cars, and you know, they want to do phones. I don't know if they're going to do phones. I'm not sure, because there's some articles that say no, but then there's some that say they might. Also, I seen one article about how if they do, they want to make like a charger connected to a solar panel, which I think is freaking awesome. It's a lot of speculation about the phones, basically. Okay, and then they have these little sustainable houses and their freaking cars and their AI bots. A lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff, okay? But no, solar panels was not the reason why I invested in Tesla. I am not gonna hate on them too much, but I did see some articles saying like their solar panels just, you know, in people's opinions, just aren't the best type of solar panels. So maybe there's some stuff that needs to be figured out there, but I do love the company in general. They're very diversified, huh? Like, they have so many different tech things that they're doing. And I mean, it sounds like I'm criticizing them, but I'm really not. Like, it's the main portion of my portfolio. I really do believe in them. That's why I yeeted so much money at them. And a lot of attention too. Here's why though. Okay, so if fossil fuels are just increasing in demand to insane prices, or to even the point of depletion, the vehicle makers that are making gas combustion cars, business is not going to be well for them. Okay, Teslas are probably going to blow the hell up. And Biden doesn't want to admit it, but they are the #1 EV maker. Let's be fair. Okay, they've been doing this for a long time before other EV makers. I'm not sure what his problem is, but it's kind of funny to witness like a whole president really sitting up there like denying something that everyone else can obviously see is kind of true. I wonder if someone's paying him or like paying lobbyists. I'm not saying they are. It's just something that crosses my mind. Maybe he is taking jabs at Tesla because of some personal vibe with him and Elon Musk. I'm not sure, but that wouldn't make sense either, because it's not like Musk is a politician. Like, why would you beef so hard with someone who's not even in your field? Also, Musk is involved with our military. He's also been dealing with NASA too. So really, I'm like, well, if he's so heavily involved with innovation here in the US, why would Biden want to take jabs at him? Anyways, next we have GFL Environmental Inc. It is underwater, which I'm not worried about. Man, this crash is something. I really want to buy more though. As you could probably tell by the name, they do environmental work. Okay, and finally, Hannon Armstrong Sustainable Infrastructure. They also do energy efficiency projects and renewable energy type of work. Okay, so those are the 6 that I've been invested in. I think that the combination of those 6 has been good for me, because the 5 other than Tesla really dilutes the volatility of Tesla. By that, I mean Tesla is obviously incredibly volatile, and because of the smaller stocks that I have also lingering inside of my portfolio, they're less volatile. So this makes my whole general portfolio less volatile. That's another reason why they say never put your eggs all in one basket. As for the dividend stocks, I usually just give back the dividends to whoever pays them out. I probably will always give them back. Maybe not like in retirement when I'm like already old. By that point, I'll just use it as a income. I kind of want to buy some hard assets, to be honest, and then maybe buy some more stocks. I was thinking about maybe Apple or Microsoft. I'm not sure exactly which one. They say stocks might crash even more because the Feds are hiking rates still and yada yada, all the headlines, whatever. But I was thinking still, like, it's a good buying opportunity. It's the margin from the last all-time highs and, you know, the lows that we're seeing these days. It's awesome. Like, that's a really good distance from the top. And that's why I'm not really worried about buying right now. I mean, I understand it could crash more, but at the same time, I'm a long-term investor. What do I gotta worry about? And like I said, there's a lot of plans for 2030, 2050, a lot of agendas, goals, plans, and I totally think it's doable too. I don't think it's something that seems like it's a fantasy. I mean, realistically speaking, we can look back in history and see society has already gone through dramatic changes before. You know, we went from going on foot and, you know, living in these mud rock domes or freaking teepees to houses to skyscrapers and cars, and it's not unrealistic to think that society can go through more dramatic changes. Anyways, that's all I have to say about it. Thank you for listening. If you guys have any criticisms, feel free to drop it down below. And if you guys have any thoughts on your guys' portfolios, I would be totally down to read about it.